Sign up on the numbers.
Ready to go?
You are, yeah.
Okay. And do not say it is recording. Yeah, it says recording. It's in speak.
Right. You doing it?
Yeah. Okay, before we call the meeting to order, are there any members of the audience that would like to speak to an item that is not on the agenda this evening? Yes. Can you stand up and say your name?
Arlen Chapner, resident of DeWitt Hills, off of Janesville Road. Can I come any closer? The reason why I'm here is because there's been a lot of items stolen from, so I can see everyone. A lot of items stolen from my mom's house, which I live in and have lived in since she left, but October 2023. I'm surprised how many things have been taken. I finally put down a list of things that I know, that I personally know that have been missing and really stolen. And I've had locksmiths like you couldn't believe, 5 different locksmiths. In 2024, that was a bad year. I got locked out a few times. But really this goes back quite a ways. And I put it together since I'd say 2022, but really roughly 2024 and 2025. And it's annoying. It's annoying. Just want to bring this up to the board. I live in a safe community, yes, but unfortunately, somebody is getting in there, or people who I suspect Amazon truck drivers have something to do with it. I don't know. Called this dozens of times, and they know, but they don't want to talk to me about it. And I just think it's totally unfair. But I put together this list, amazing things on it. But I don't want to take any more time. But there's a lot of different things, different clothes, tennis rackets, and so on. And prescription eyeglasses and cell phones. So every time I secure the door with a new locksmith, I haven't done it in a while, but something else happens. I had a new door placed in front in January 2025, and also a screen door put in September 2025. Nothing's happened in that interim, but then it starts happening again early spring, which I noticed a Columbia jacket of mine stolen like a week ago. So I don't know what to do. I think it's through the garage door. But I'm just gonna.
Can you just leave the list on the table there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And let you take a look at it. There's totals, there's amounts.
There's just the street that you live on.
Yeah, off of Hamilton Parkway, Easterly Terrace, right on that corner.
Thank you very much. We'll look into it and we'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marlon. Is there anyone else in the audience this evening? Okay, seeing none, please rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will clerk take roll?
Supervisor Rechner,
Here.
Counselors Alex,
Here.
Chiarenza,
Here.
Gupta, here, Leehood, here, Mannion,
Here.
and Stevenson. Here.
Okay, we don't have a public hearing tonight, right?
No.
Okay, so first on our agenda, we have the presentation of our 2025 audited financial statement from the Bonadio Group. Welcome this evening.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Got some bound copies of the presentation for you all. I'm Jacob Skevel with the Bonadio Group. This is our second year as your external auditors. What we're talking about tonight is results of the 2025 year-end audit. all the drafts of our document were provided to the board in the agenda. Be happy to answer any specific questions on those, but this is the much condensed version of it. So we'll go through about 14 or 15 pages instead of 100 or so. So starting out on the scope of our services, what we've done as your external auditor is conduct an audit of the town's financial statements. First of all, the financial statements and all of our reports are in draft form at this point in time. Following your approval, we'll have rep letters signed and those will be issued in final form. Along with the audit of the financial statements for 2025, there was a federal single audit conducted as required due to the level of the spending of the ARPA funding in 2025. A separate audit of the LVC. Those financial statements were finally issued and submitted to the state by that March 31st deadline required for public authorities. So those ones are in final form. And then annually, we conduct an agreed upon procedures engagement over the town court. So also in draft form, but pleased to say nothing findings or note in that work that we've done. Moving on to the executive summary and the results of the audit. First, on the financial statements, we will be issuing an unmodified opinion on those financial statements. That's a clean opinion. That's the highest level of assurance we can provide as auditors. So that's what you're hoping to see in that report each year. As far as internal controls, we don't conduct our audit for expressing an opinion on the controls, but we get an understanding of them as we conduct our audits. Nothing rising to the level of significant deficiencies or material weaknesses to note in that. We do provide a management letter of best practice recommendations and things of that nature for management, and happy to say management's been very cooperative and trying to adopt any of those recommendations. Next up, we have some required communication to deliver at the conclusion of each and every audit. First, on the financial statement side, nothing as far as accounting policies or estimates that are unusual in these financial statements. Estimates are a part of them, particularly as it relates to things like your pension liabilities and retiree healthcare liabilities, but nothing out of the ordinary. No audit adjustments were made as performing of our work. So the final numbers provided by management were what went into the final financial statements. We did have one unadjusted difference related just to the compensated absences liability, of which there was a new standard we talked about last year, but a small calculation difference there and nothing material to the financial statements. And then as far as the audit work itself, we didn't have any issues in performing our work. We were provided everything that we needed to receive and get this done in a timely manner as well. Next up, the results of the single audit. So again, this is the audit in accordance with uniform guidance required based on the spending of federal funds. The major program we tested this year was that ARPA program, which was driving the requirement. And we'll be issuing an unmodified opinion on compliance with that program. So again, the results you're looking to see there. Our expectation based on level of spending is that requirement will not continue going forward to next year unless there's additional sources of federal funds. And then on the internal control side, we also give that report on controls over compliance, like we do with controls over financial reporting, and similarly, no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies noted in that. Any questions on the results themselves before a few financial highlights? Yes.
Can you just clarify, I wasn't here last year?
Yep.
So no audit adjustment, there was no audit adjustment or required communication report unadjusted difference. So compensated absences. So how does it go 37 and 63? I understand what you're saying.
Yep.
So how does it, so it didn't impact anything in the fund balance?
Yeah, so those adjustments weren't recorded. They weren't material, so it wasn't required to record. They'll be adjusted going forward. The two numbers in there, the first is the general fund impact, the other governmental activities. That's your government-wide financial statement. So those are the ones that include all of the long-term
Okay.
assets and liabilities. So they're different bases of accounting.
And the other thing which you mentioned, I think that the single audit one with ARPA one, that's supposed to be submitted by March 31st.
The town's local development corporation receives a separate audit of their financial statements. That is required to be submitted by March 31st, and that was issued and done so. The federal single audit deadline will be due 30 days and from the date we issue the report.
So we're still in good.
Yep, and we'll coordinate that and don't expect any issues there. Absolutely. So moving on to a few key financial highlights. As I was just referring to, there's two sets of financial statements in your total financial statement of the town. The first is the government-wide financial statements that includes all of those long-term items, capital assets, long-term debt, pension, OPEB. Because of that inclusion, it tends to not be as useful in the operations of the town and managing. However, at the end of the year, the total net position of the governmental activities of the town were about 9.8 million. And business type activities, which is the town's LVC, were at about 400,000. We do point out a big driver of that number is always the retiree healthcare liability, which is at about 22 million at the year end. Next up on the fund financial statements. So this is the information that you're more actively reviewing. As far as the general fund goes, the final budget expected a usage of fund balance of about $400,000 and actual fund balance usage in the general fund for the year end was about 500,000. So very close on the results overall. Breaking it down a little further, expenditures came in just under $100,000 under budget. This is pretty accurate overall on about $15 million budget overall. On the revenue side, I noted revenues excluding federal funds. That variance is kind of driven by that ARPA activity, so isn't really relevant. But revenues in total were about 800,000 over budget. The biggest driver of that was use of money in property. So interest earnings on investments of about $1 million. Most of our local governments are seeing that at this point as interest rates are still high. Ending fund balance in the general fund was at about $5.7 million. That breaks down 250,000 was non-spendable for amounts already out the door but prepaid. About 500,000 of that is assigned for use in the following year budget. While general fund is the focus, point out the other governmental funds are in there with balances. The most significant activity in there you'll see going through the financial statements is the capital projects fund with about a $6.2 million increase. That's simply due to the recognition of bond proceeds on ongoing projects. And then total fund balances in those other funds cumulatively was about $14 million. About 3.7 million of that is restricted for those capital project purposes. And then the remaining $10 million is spread across for usage of those funds, including our town, highway, water, sewer. Lastly, on the financial highlights, we do include the fund balance trends. So you have that reference of look back of fund balance over the last 5 years. Really for informational purposes, you'll see general fund is very strong from a few years ago. So not necessarily a negative at this point to be using some of that fund balance as you're budgeting for. And then lastly, I'll just mention on the accounting world side of things, we had a year where we actually did not need to adopt a new standard for the town's financial statements this year. Unfortunately, that goes out the window next year. We do have GASB 103 on the horizon. This one will not have any bottom line impact, nothing changing your numbers, assets, liabilities. It's all presentation type items. That management discussion and analysis in the front of your statements has some new requirements and level of analysis. Your budgetary schedules will require you to explain variances from your beginning to final budget as well as to the actual results. And then the proprietary fund, which is really the LBC numbers, will just have some presentation changes. But we'll of course work with Carrie and management to adopt those and make sure you're compliant with that.
So, I mean, variances, we see that when we see the financial report. So how does it impact for reporting? I mean, I'm kind of confused.
So the variances will be in the back of your financial statements. There's certain schedules required for disclosure.
Even for the report, for the reporting.
Yes, yep. So one of those is the budget to actual schedule for the general fund. So when you pass budget amendments, if they're significant, there will just be a required footnote of there was $1 million amendment here. This was the reason for that.
Okay.
You said major, what is the minimum on that going to be? Do you know?
As far it's materiality is the general guidance. So we'll look at it kind of in the lens of our audit materiality and kind of work as a team.
So that'll be something that we'll really get a sense of what that's going to look like next January, February, March when you come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in your audit report right now, is there anything that should be added that will be very helpful when you're doing the audit?
Nothing really coming to.
So everything is being done. It's
Yeah.
just a presentation to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's just informational.
Like in preparing for exam, just trying to make sure we have all these things.
No, it'll really just be kind of part of that final process, a few more steps involved.
Any other questions on that part of the audit? Any questions from the audience? No? Okay, that was that part. Are you doing the court as well?
I mentioned it in here. We have those in draft form. No findings to report there. They've been very cooperative and eager to adopt everything that we would recommend, but nothing for this year.
Okay. I did want to thank Judge Young, who's here this evening. I think this was the cleanest audit that I've seen in 5 years out of the court. So good job.
That's right. We were really happy working with Jacob and his folks over at Bonadio. And you're right. This was first year that I've been watching the audits either from this side or from this side. That there were absolutely no findings. It was a really good process and a good result. So thank you for the work.
Thank you.
Our staff did an excellent job supplying the information that Jacob needed in order to provide the testing.
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If there are no other questions, did we accept the audit or?
You got it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Do I have a motion to accept the 2025 audit? From Bernard, second from Joe. All those in favor say aye.
I
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes.
want to do a separate motion to accept the court audit.
Or, okay, for the court system? Sure.
Motion.
Motion from Joe to accept the court audit, second from Bernard to accept the court audit. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Sid.
Okay, Comptroller Fusco, the 2025 annual financial report.
Oh, I'm up.
Yes.
Sorry. So along with the audit, I sent out the New York State Comptroller annual report that's due April 30th.
Yep.
It's basically the statement in consolidated form. Question? Let's review that.
Which one was that? There's so many. Is
It's a great document, Karen. Thank you.
that the one?
A lot of effort.
Nope.
I mean, I haven't gone online. Oh, this is the one. Oh, okay. This is very good, actually.
So that's each of the statements are by April 30th. So
Are they looking for different material than the standard audit, the comptroller? What are they focused on?
they're just focused on the actual numbers.
Okay.
There are some things that they have us do further explanations on. Those are more of like the consolidated, like other lines.
Okay.
And then they'll, at the end, after we review it, they send us like our health report based on what we've submitted and that's our standing.
The only one question I had, I think the rest of the things are very clear, is on the page 3, I think. Bond, construction of park water and all those. It says principal paid was 0, so they're not. There are a couple of things. Like 2 of them, so it's not being paid right now.
Well, this is the one we issued this year, so we wouldn't have had a principal payment. 2026 is the first year.
Okay.
And this one is a ban. So we
Oh, this
issued
is-
it and then
oh,
we paid it
then
off.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, so just approving the 25, 20, okay.
2025 annual financial report.
Do I have a motion to approve from Patricia, second from Carrie? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Okay, next on the agenda, the proposed update to the town zoning map.
So tonight we have a proposed update to the town zoning map. The town zoning map was last updated in 2008, so it's been almost 20 years. Back when I first started this job in 2024, Max and I met with county planning in April 2024, just about a month after here, talking to them about starting to update the map. We kind of got the process started and then things got crazy and it kind of went on the back burner, but last fall we pulled it out again and said we need to finish this, so here we are. So this map, there are a few zone changes that have occurred since 2008, so it updates those. Any parcel data that's changed due to subdivisions has been updated, and the mixed use village overlay district, which right now is on a separate map, is now incorporated onto this map. And there were some street name issues and things like that that we cleared up. So the first step would be referring this to the planning board for their recommendation.
So just for the board's information, step 1, we're going to refer this to the planning board. The planning board will come back with a recommendation. We will hold a public hearing on this and then vote on it. We're treating it the same as in our code, a zone change, the zone change process. Yes.
So, like we have talked about a lot of those things, right?
Mhm.
Making a different sort of a zone. How does it impact later on in the future when we consider some case is exceptional. It'll
So,
always be the case, right?
so right now, this map is really more of, this change is really just updating the map. The map we post online has had a couple of changes from the 2008. We reference those, but it's not visually the same. So the purpose of this is to have that new map so that we can show, that people can refer to, and it's the most accurate and most up to date.
Okay.
But it's not actually changing.
There's a few changes in it, but it's not, we aren't going to do any additional changes. I don't
Changes
believe.
have already been made, they're just not.
That's
shown
you
on the
would
map.
show it
Yeah.
visually.
Yes.
Yes.
So there have been a few zone changes since 2008, so the 2008 map still shows those as the old zone.
Right.
And the MUV zoning isn't on there.
There's more zones, there's a lot more colors on this one.
Yes.
I know it's-
Some hatching and-
Like,
Changes.
yeah, it's like the Jamesville overlay 2 and 3 family.
Yes, the 2 and 3 family.
Like that's on there. So
Yeah.
things that have changed since
So
2008.
that can
are on
impact the comprehensive plan later on.
So this is going to give us
Yeah.
a set, when we review the comprehensive plan next
Yeah.
year, we are all looking at the most accurate current map.
like-
I expect there may be out of the comprehensive plan and out of a zoning review,
Yeah.
which will be a separate process afterward, we may want to change
Right.
some zones.
Something.
That will be a
That
separate
will
process that we'll do later. Yes.
So this is kind of the baseline going.
Yeah,
into the
that's
comprehensive
exciting.
plan
That's
update.
great.
Yeah, and it'll be nice having the MUV information all on the same map rather than having to look at a separate map. And yeah, just, and also now working with county planning, they're maintaining the map. So if we have another zone change, we can just call county planning and say, can you please update this map so they'll be current for us.
You may have noted the original 2008 map is O'Brien and Gear.
Oh, my God.
Was managing, so. Yes, so this is going to be something that is updatable
Yeah.
more frequently.
It's all done in GIS now. Same with county planning, so it's very easy to update now.
So Ilana, you think ahead, so that's great. I'm so happy. Fantastic. So I can,
You zoom into the bottom left of the map, you can see the changes that are being updated.
yeah.
Right, so
It's exciting work.
I'll have a motion from, do you have a question or?
A question.
Yes, sorry.
And I'm pulling up in recall, the conversation has taken place regarding Jamesville and the prison property.
Yes, so the latest word I hear is that the prison is going to stay prison. That the penitentiary, they're intending to move, to close the downtown Justice Center and move everybody up to the penitentiary.
Operationally as well as temporary residents.
I believe it's being studied at this point. I don't know that they have a final plan. It is still in
R0.
it is still R0. It is something I believe that we will want to evaluate and probably change, but I have a feeling we tried to find a quick solution to do it between the planning board and the town board. We couldn't come to something that was going to be quickly done. So I think with the comprehensive plan coming up, with a change to the penitentiary, possibly having slowed down, we might be able to do it through our comprehensive plan to change that zone.
And
That
then
would be my
also
goal right now.
It will require so much planning because to move the whole complex from downtown to here, it requires a lot of money.
Well,
Not only this, so zoning is, the thing is, how would it go into the county budget when so many other things are having?
The
so-
county executive announced it at his State of the County address. That was his intention, and that's about all I've heard of
Yep.
it. So,
A lot of people were not aware of.
Yeah.
it.
okay. Any other questions?
I move.
Okay, I have a motion from Indu. Do I have a second to refer the updated zoning map to the planning board? Peter, yes.
Yes. Is there any sites in this town that allow for battery storage, utility-sized battery storage?
Currently we're in a moratorium. And so nothing, it's not allowed anywhere. We have not made a determination on where it would be allowed without the moratorium, which is why we're currently coming up with a battery storage zoning law. We're nearing having a final draft to be able to distribute here we really want to get it out in May. So
And what sites are you studying?
right now it's limited to industrial with 4 large systems with some other, but not everywhere within industrial. It would still have distances from residences. So that's what we're looking at right now.
And what about light industrial at the shopping town project? Is that correct?
That's not allowed. Industrial is not allowed there by zoning now. I don't think that we would.
Does zoning make a difference between light industrial and heavy industrial?
Not in our zone. Industrial is industrial. Yeah. So, I mean, that's where we are now. Any industrial moving there would require a zone change.
And town has so much actually, industrial available.
We do. There's a lot of industrial
Into-
in town.
There's so much things are there that could be a town center.
I had a motion from Indu, a second from Carrie. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Schedule a public hearing for the proposed restaurant use in business transitional code update.
So we have gotten a couple of proposals for restaurants in the BT zone, and through this process, we realized that right now in the BT zone, only cafes are allowed, which is basically the same as restaurant, but less than 1,000 square feet. But if you look at some of the plazas in the BT zone, like Nottingham Plaza, like Mario Salvo's is, where UPS stores, there are a bunch of restaurants in there, and most of them are not less than 1,000 square feet. So they're all non-conforming. And those uses really anchor those plazas. We think they're important uses. And so we were thinking of a way to add restaurants as a use to BT, but just to shopping centers, existing shopping centers with an approved site plan. So what we're proposing is adding restaurant as a use in BT, provided it is integral to any multi-tenant structure in a shopping center and not freestanding. Freestanding could be something we look at in the future, but right now, it really means looking at every lot that's zone BT in the town, and we're not ready to confidently.
That may be a part of the comprehensive plan conversation, as well as to what uses we're really looking for in the BT. But this is one where we currently have multiple businesses that are under current interpretation out of code. So existing non-conforming, this would bring those into compliance.
Yes, it would bring most of them into compliance. I think there might be a couple that are a little too big, but most of them would come into compliance. So a restaurant in the business transitional district would be limited to a total size of 2,500 square feet, provided an existing multi-tenant structure is not expanded, so you can't make the multi-tenant structure any bigger. Where a restaurant is added as a tenant to an existing multi-tenant structure in a shopping center, or expands its existing footprint within an existing multi-tenant structure, site plan approval is not required, provided the shopping center has an existing approved site plan. The establishment or expansion does not result in a total greater than 2,500 square feet, and no outdoor seating is proposed. So right now with shopping centers, if a shopping center has an approved site plan, we don't require a site plan every time a business moves in or out. With a site plan, you're looking at parking, lighting, landscaping, the whole thing. But with a shopping center, that's already established once you do the site plan for the whole thing. So usually it's just a building permit to move a business in or out of a shopping center. So we're saying as long as they meet the size, they're not expanding it past 2,500, then they would not need a site plan if there's no outdoor seating. So outdoor seating would be an accessory to a restaurant use, and maybe you permitted with site plan approval. So that would require a site plan. And drive-throughs are prohibited. Drive-throughs are already prohibited in BT except for banks with a special permit, but we just wanted to be very clear about this. BT zones are generally adjacent to residential, so these are smaller uses that are more like neighborhood business type uses. So we really want to kind of restrict the size.
Alana, what would happen if, say, one of the established restaurants that is likely to be out of size conformity for this update, if they were to vacate and a new restaurant wanted to come in, would they need to go, what would they need to do if they're already too large?
They would need a variance.
Okay,
for the
where-
size. Yeah, this is variable. It's not part of the definition.
Thank you.
So it's trying to accommodate for existing businesses.
Yeah,
Which is
and I.
good. I think it's a
Yes.
good practice.
I don't think there are too many that would be
Right,
above
right, right.
2,500, maybe the Brugger's in Nottingham Plaza. I'm not sure if there would be any other that are greater than 2,500 square feet, but that would be very.
I mean, it allows a lot of cafes, the small cafes, mom and pop shops have been, which provides opportunity, which is a nice thing.
And they wouldn't lose their pre-existing non-conforming status unless they were vacant unless they abandoned the use for 6 months. 6 months, yeah.
So what is, you said shopping, so there are two words, business transitional and shopping centers. Is there a difference?
Business transitional is the zoning, shopping center is a use within the
Oh.
business transitional zoning district.
So how many business transitional will be, like in Nottingham Plaza will be?
I think there's only 3 shopping centers in
There's one down the
BT.
street too. Is this one? BT, Verizon,
Is it?
The Verizon one?
That might be
We have-
SBT, but I don't know.
we have a space on question.
Didn't the Pickwick, isn't, are you including that as a shopping center?
It's-
I'm just asking, it's all right, I mean,
Oh,
I told you
yes.
so.
yeah, that's okay, I was just.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Nottingham Plaza.
Plaza, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sharon Salvums,
Then you
Marty,
got-
yes,
An opposite one.
Across the street,
Across the street.
Nottingham Plaza.
It's
I
okay.
think it's this side, so it's this side of 41, so I think it's BT.
They have enough parking for a restaurant anyway.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I was wrong. I'm thinking SBT, I'm thinking special business residence.
Verizon.
Yeah, Verizon is
That's all
SBT.
red, that's all BT. Yeah.
So do you, is the zoning, if there are too many restaurants in one plaza, like a cafes, one after another one, small one, because the parking does become a problem.
I mean, if you think right now about like the Mario and Salvo Plaza, like they're already very underparked. So
Yeah, yeah.
Some of it is self-limiting, if you go there and you rent private parking space.
Yeah.
then you'll be able to park. Some of it is just already self-limiting.
Tops Plaza is also BT.
The Nottingham Plaza and Mario's. And
Yes,
across the street.
Pickwick is BT. Okay,
Thanks.
are there any other questions from the board?
No, but we can schedule it, right?
Yes, I have a question for Peter before we move on.
So you said that if a site already has an approved site plan, and a tenant moves out and someone else moves in, that you don't have to go through a new site, plan, which is
For the shop,
opposite what you said with the Tops Plaza on Genesee Street.
That's not a shopping.
it's not a shopping center.
It's not tenants in the shopping center. A shopping center is a specific use.
So if they put in multi-tenant in there, would it become a shopping center?
I'm not going to address questions about that project right now. We're in active litigation.
Okay, well, in theory though, if,
You would
what's the
need a
difference
site,
between
you would need a
a,
site plan for a shopping center.
what's the difference between a shopping center and can a single tenant convert to a shopping center?
I do not know.
That would be a site plan.
They would come in a site plan and have it organized with the planning board. Tell them I want to do a shopping center and
Parking and all the things the planning board looks at.
two different situations.
If the plaza by your house is probably would fall into this.
Yes, well, that's special business.
Yeah, but that's the SBT.
That's the one down the street. That's SBT, what I was talking about.
Here,
The other side of Wegmans.
yeah.
So that's a different zone.
Okay. So to the effect of this, what we actually need to do here is this has gone through our planning board and has received a positive recommendation. It has also received a no comment from the county planning board, correct?
We sent it, but it hasn't been reviewed yet. So that'll come back next, like mid-May, I believe.
Okay. Which one did we just get? Okay, is that the one? Okay.
You can still refer it to the planning board.
Oh, yeah, no, well, yeah. So to schedule this, I'm trying not to do it in 2 weeks because there's extra requirements. But in 4 weeks is Memorial Day. So I would also like to reschedule the meeting for Memorial Day. There is no court on Thursday, May 28th. And since we are doing public hearing on this one, I would like to do this in the evening rather than in the morning. So is the board available the evening of Thursday, May 28th for to move our meeting that is scheduled for Memorial Day?
What time?
Our normal 6 o'clock.
3:30. That's it. That's the same day.
I think I'm out. I'm not gonna be around that day.
It's the 5th. It's the 5th Thursday, I think. So I don't think it is.
Oh, no, I can't. I'm out.
I can't make. Probably do Tuesday.
It's court. I mean, we could do it upstairs. We want to do it upstairs instead.
Do that.
When, Tuesday or?
Tuesday.
26th.
Tuesday, 26th.
I am not available on Tuesday.
How about Wednesday?
Wednesday at 27th.
I'd have to check.
I don't know. My kids' sports are in flux right now. I don't have a final schedule. I'm guessing. I don't think I'm available. There is, for some reason there is no school on Wednesday, the 27th.
Yes.
Oh, is it a holiday?
Well, the Friday morning before Memorial Day. Anybody get around? Thursday morning before Memorial Day?
The 29th?
22nd.
22nd.
Yeah, before.
22nd? Yeah, that can work.
Yeah, Angela won't be here. I mean, we could, if we're going to do it in the morning, we could just do it in the morning on the 26th, 27th, 28th, if there's one of those days.
I can make the mornings work on any of those days. Are the people that are quiet, are you guys relatively confident? Is that why we're not speaking up?
I'm not saying it because I'm good in the mornings and then the other days I'm just waiting to hear what the.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's just start with the 26th, the morning of the 26th.
Good.
Morning at.
Good. What,
Tuesday.
8:30, Tuesday at 8:30?
I can see in the notice.
26th.
That it'll be available by Zoom in the morning.
Yes.
I can add that in there.
Okay.
8:30.
You can also ask for any comments.
In person, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
in person.
yes. I'm just saying I might put out a notice that.
So Max, let me just understand, you're doing the public hearing on an unscheduled day in the morning. How does that affect the public?
There will be notice that goes out to allow the public to comment. There will be, the notice will have my email. I'll put it on the front page of our webpage to, if anybody has any comments, they can email the board, they can email the supervisor. Will be available by Zoom.
Will it be on the electronic bulletin boards?
Can add it to the electronic bulletin boards.
You can
Absolutely.
pull it up during the hearing and listen in as if you were here.
And you can, I can allow comment from the Zoom if we want as well, if somebody has comments from the Zoom.
That's a workshop.
If we had Memorial Day didn't exist, we'd be doing it Monday night. Yes, just to be clear, it's a
Thank God Memorial Day.
necessity. It's just the holidays.
You're not working in the area.
On Tuesday?
Mhm.
I'm glad it's Memorial Day.
Well,
And at what time?
if I can make it, I can make it.
So 8:35 for the public hearing. Okay, so before we go to this, then let us set we're going to move our second board meeting in May from Memorial Day on May 25th to Tuesday, May 26th at 8:30 a.m. Do I have a motion for that from Indu, a second from Bernard? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes.
8:30, right?
8:30 for the meeting, yes. And then, do I have a motion to schedule a public hearing for the proposed restaurant use and business transitional at 8:35 a.m. on May 26th? From Bernard, a second from Patricia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Peter, for the suggestion. We will make sure that that goes up on the electronic billboards as well as along with the website. Yep, and we'll include the Zoom in the notice. Okay. Okay, the next item that I have on the agenda is authorization to post for clerk 2 in the water department.
We had a resignation recently. We were just looking for authorization to post so we could start canvassing for a candidate tonight.
Do I have any questions on that?
Why'd they resign? Rock, did they go somewhere?
Going back to their former line of work.
Okay.
And this is most likely going to be a helps position, whomever, where we end up with theirs. So helps is a program recent in the last few years where we don't have to go off a list from civil service. Civil service has identified specific positions where we're allowed to just hire and then they can get permanent appointment without needing to take a test.
Yeah, 1 year probation, once they complete it.
So they already have taken the test.
No, there is no test
There's no.
for the helps positions. Correct. That's,
Meet the qualifications.
I don't know what help stands for. Do you remember? But it basically is just what civil service is doing now to try and
To recruit people. Yeah.
Because they aren't getting people to take the test.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that, my God, it is such a pain. That's good. So does it require any more specific training we would have to do for the person?
There'll be a lot of on-the-job
Certified.
training to learn our system. Absolutely.
Okay, I have a motion from Indu, a second from Sarah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Natoli, the Tompkins County Health Consortium Code of Ethics and Conflict of Interest Development.
This is one of 2 documents that are coming to the board from Tompkins County. As you know, that's our health insurance provider. This is essentially, and they've asked us to do this every single year, we update their terms and conditions. This is not the actual agreement. This is only the code of ethics and the conflict of interest policy that the town has already agreed to. So they're asking the board to make a resolution accepting these changes to the code of ethics and conflict of interest policy by April 30th. In 3 days, there will be another of a resolution I'll bring to the board that is agreeing to the amended full agreement, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm expecting to be next month. But as Carrie knows, other board members know, we've done this, at least 10 times in the last few years, it seems. So at minimum, we're staying very up to date with Tompkins County.
I mean, what did they put there? It's pretty standard thing. What they put, I mean, we didn't have some of
I'm not
those things
sure
that they're
exactly
trying to
what they
update.
added, but it's nothing that hurts the town. Definitely not.
I think they feel they have to do it as a large insurance consortium to follow, making sure that they're following all the rules too.
I
So
guess. It should be their checklist. We did
It's
this.
a check in the list and.
Yep.
At one time, they asked us to do a resolution that would approve future changes, so we didn't have to do it every time. I thought we did it a couple times, but they still send us to us every year and ask us to do the individual.
So the mindset, rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to do future one? Because if they put something, we should
Just
not be.
because we're likely to stay with our health insurer, right? So it's not a bad practice for the board to look every time there's a change.
Yeah, I mean, I would like that to look at it because sometimes you can say, hey, this is not. what
I would always err on being more careful than not.
Yeah, so I will stick to that. Okay. Sounds good.
Any other questions?
Nothing to sign, just a resolution.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve? From Carrie, a second from Bernard. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Okay. Town board minutes from our last meeting. Everybody have a chance to look at them? If there's no amendments needed to be made, I have a motion from Carrie to approve. Do I have a second? From Indu? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, check register. We have 2 check registers here submitted by Controller Fusco. Do we have any questions on these? No. Okay. Seeing none, do I have a motion to accept the check registers from submitted by Controller Fusco? From Patricia, second. From Carrie? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay.
Be a hog, but I'll-
Somebody's got to volunteer. I also have here, you got the email from Angela today?
What was it? No,
Recently, since the agenda went out,
A few days ago.
about her reimbursement, the cost being higher than expected, due to no fault of her own. So Angela is asking for to cover the extra expenses. Do you have a final number? Let's see.
229. I just looked at it. I just looked at it. I
$229?
think it's 229.69, but I got real.
Something like 200.
Oh, I remember that number, but let's see. This didn't come, it's 269.99.
$269.99. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the reimbursement of the extra $269.99? Motion from Joe, a second from Patricia.
I'm sorry, it's 262.99. Angela, you actually put it wrong in here. I'm just gonna blame you. But it's 262.99. Sorry about that.
Let it happen again. Over.
$262.99.
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Who made the motions?
Joe and Patricia.
Okay, town board updates. I wanted to update the community a little bit. I took not really a tour of Jamesville Quarry, but I met up at the quarry headquarters with some town staff to talk about the increase in usage that they are seeing with the Micron project. We talked about some of the issues that we foresee, some of the issues that are ongoing, and then what actions can be done to mitigate the impact on DeWitt residents. One of the issues, dust on Jamesville Road. We put to them how much worse that is, how important, and the complaints that we're getting, not only just from a look issue, but from a traffic issue. The mud and dust is covering the lane line, so it's getting difficult to see, especially during night at dark, and then also from an air quality. There's just been so much dust in the air when it's dry. They did acknowledge the issue. They said they had purchased a second street sweeper, and they are committed to doing more street sweeping, more effective street sweeping. And they said whenever we see that there is an issue there, to let them know. So we will be on the lookout, and we will call them up whenever we see an issue. If anyone in the community, anyone on the board sees that there is an issue, please contact Alana or myself, and we will pass that along to the quarry for action on their part. Another complaint that we've received is about uncovered trucks and stone coming off of uncovered trucks, cracking windshields, doing damage to cars. In talking to that with them, they do remind all of the trucks that leave the quarry that they are supposed to be covered. They can enforce that with their own trucks, which is some of the traffic, but they say they cannot enforce it with the private trucks that just buy material from them. So to that is a highway responsibility, not a highway department responsibility, but it's a highway traffic law responsibility, which falls to our police department. I have spoken to the chief. He has agreed to step up enforcement in that area. We've already had 1 day of enforcement patrol in that area that has already produced some tickets, taken a couple of trucks off the road that were non-compliant. So we're hoping that with vigorous enforcement in that area, that it will inspire them to actually obey the law, obey the traffic law with keeping their loads covered. That will also help with the stone and loose gravel.
Nice.
Yes.
They say they're gonna use rail. I thought they were gonna use more rail.
So according to the quarry, they would love to use more rail, but it would be a significant investment on their part to upgrade the facilities to do a lot more. And so basically what it would take is a commitment from the buyer that would want it delivered by rail. And if they had that commitment, then they would do what it would take to use more rail. But we encourage them to use more rail as
That's already
possible.
going around the community, that it's going to be brought in on rail.
I hadn't
My
thought that.
brother's working at a site over there,
Okay.
so that's not happening out of our quarry then.
Did you read that differently than I did? Yeah, they're willing to, but they
They're
need,
not making the investment.
yes, without somebody specifically ordering.
There's no rail run through Conway Road.
Yep.
They're going to be using it.
Yeah.
And
I've heard that too, that it was all in the land, or land
Yeah.
to go out.
I mean, you can haul 100 trucks
Mhm.
versus.
I agree that it definitely rail would make a lot of sense. I don't know beyond that conversation. Yeah. Yep, what they're gonna do. But speaking to the extra truck traffic,
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Are they not, as you stated, they're required to cover before they leave
Yeah, yeah.
to go out, right?
Trucks smoking.
Before they're on public roads, yes, they should be covered.
So is the responsibility of ensuring a coverage on the trucking company and or on the quarry? Who's responsible, and then
The driver,
The-
the driver.
I would imagine, Chief, would you believe it's on the driver?
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is that companies, that's not only one company, there are multiple companies out there.
Mhm.
Some of them are doing for Micron, some of them are doing for all the needs which we have in the community. And there are some small ones, I think, like, when you get the stone, you get it, and if they don't have it covered, how you enforce that? That's the biggest problem. How you, as our police department, can enforce that, unless the employer is willing to do that. I don't know whether it's driver's responsibility. The employer is giving them, I mean, this is my route for every single day, right? For more than 30 years. And that path has changed. The blast happened, the sound happened so much. It's just like a different place now. So I understand that growth requires all these things, but they should be a good neighbor. That's the bottom line, that how they can coexist together.
It was to that end, it was a very good conversation. They also said they wanted to be a good neighbor. And they did invite anyone from the board that wanted to come out to visit. I was going to have Alana work with the quarry to set something up, a time to see the facilities that they're going to be working for.
Very interesting.
Specifically the Micron deposition of material that they're going to be accepting, but then also they invited anyone from the board to come and watch a blast as well. They wanted to.
Do you know, are they maintaining their blast windows?
They said they are only blasting from like 8 to noon or 9 to noon in the mornings, unless there is an unexpected weather event that pushes them into the early afternoon. But never outside of that was what they said.
But they do crack sound. So in my neighborhood, there are people who are up on the hill. They actually can hear a lot of sound.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to my friend's house and it just like, whoa, this is crazy. So it's going to happen because, the air, the sound travels. There's no barrier there. So as long as they stay within their time frame, and that's what is the question. And you and I talked about.
Yeah, and I think that's something we'll have to review with the overall sound. The blasting, they were very definitive that it was not outside a certain hour.
Yesterday was a huge blast in the morning. Oh my God, like it's an earthquake kind of thing.
But the just general operations, they said they mostly by evening, they die down, but they are expecting a lot more traffic with Micron and everything, so it will be extended operations.
The traffic and everything. They're
So to that, yes, the traffic, we've reached out to the state DOT for traffic on 173 that's proposed. And we will work together with the quarry and the state DOT to handle whatever is determined where the traffic is. I think the state would love to get them to just use the one main entrance that already has a turn lane off of Jamesville Road.
Yeah, they're single lanes. I mean, good luck with that to make it
Yes.
that turn.
So if they end up using 173, the quarry has committed to a lot of signage and whatever else we can do to help. I will say their expectation of using 173 was time limited, that they were expecting it not to last beyond a year. But I will have to see where that goes. The initial conversation with the state DOT was interesting, and in maybe wanting them to just use Jamesville Road. So that would help with a
The
lot of
thing
that.
is, right now it's Micron. The Micron will continue to do their own, the fab thing, and then there will be other businesses they would want that too. One of the
As economic development, yes, we hope that there will be a mini boom here
Right.
in Central New York, but with that means
But then as long as the residents are informed, right?
Yes.
So get prepared. It's like a preparation prevents poor performance.
and we will continue to get information out on working with the quarry and what is going to be going on to the Jamesville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll be very interested. Go ahead.
Yes.
Whenever you can.
Are there other updates from the town board?
Thank you, Max.
No, I'm just going to, I
Right,
don't have an update. I just want to keep this front and center. What's the next steps for getting Robert Waters Memorial Bench and Tree done?
We haven't heard anything on the one location, right? On finalizing that. The last I spoke to Rhea, it was like she thought that was a good idea in that,
Are we talking about the Orvilleton
Yeah.
location?
no, the DeWittshire location, yeah. On Genesee Street.
I think we need to coordinate with Rocco, see where he thinks.
You guys tell me where you want it, we can put it. I mean,
I wasn't
Okay.
aware of the DeWittshire one. Where's the DeWittshire one?
So I don't think we're ready to talk about it.
Yeah, not in, yeah.
Where the big old yellow house was?
There is a good spot in DeWittshire. We could talk about the median in Orvilleton. We could talk about up in Jamesville. I mean, there are spots, but I think as a board, we need to figure out, and once we determine the spot, we need to get some confirmation that everybody's in agreement with it.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yep.
I'll talk with you after the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Any other updates?
Yes.
Yes, Bernard.
Just to say to our fellow board member Patricia, our thoughts are with you in the transition of your brother. So thank you. Thank you.
Okay. With that, we have some items for executive session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session? From Joe, a second from Carrie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
be here by 7:30.
So Carrie, is your brother?
I have no idea what to start with. We should start with the one we want to do the least.
Thank you.
I think I know what one that is.
Yes, 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 yes.
First one.
Oh, yeah.